From KGW, this is Friday Night Flights with Orlando Sanchez, sponsored by Carl's Jr.
What is good, everyone? My name is Orlando, and this is the best game in town. You are watching Friday Night Flights. We start in the Three Rivers League, a top 10 matchup between Tualatin and Lake Ridge. This game lived up to the hype. Big plays in the first half. Malik Ross on your left, that is a 76-yard touchdown. And Joey Olson on your right, 63-yard TD catch. Let's head to the second quarter. Check this out. Jackson Jones delivers the fadeaway to Richie Anderson, who hauls in the touchdown. Tualatin on top 21-8 at that point. Lake Ridge responds in the second half. Ryan Oliver, a dime to Baylor Corbin. 40 yards to the crib, and we've got a tied game. Comes down to the final 3 seconds. Drama for you. And it's the leg of Tualatin's Dominic Borges. The senior comes through. Your hero, Tualatin, defeats Lake Ridge in a thriller. Final count, 24-21. Carry that man off the field. What a game. Three Rivers League, we stay. West Linn doubles up Tigard, while Lake Oswego takes down Oregon City. West Linn and Lakeo meet up next week. Cannot wait for that game. In the Metro League, Sunset and Westview both making noise this season. One team getting louder with a win in week 7. Here we go. Turn up the volume, please. Westview setting the tone. Sam Levitt hooks up with Caden Huppin. What a catch. And that set up the very next play. Sam Levitt at it again, you know the name, and Darius Clemens coming through with a beautiful catch in the back of the end zone. Westview gets the dub, 48-13. Beaverton hosting Grants Pass. Homecoming night in Beaverton. Grants Pass trying to spoil the party. This is one way you do it. Chase Jordan gets under it for the interception. Then 2 plays later, the visitors cash in. Trevor Reeves, welcome to Friday Night Flights. Grants Pass on top 7-zip. The Beavers, they weren't phased. Hunter Border, go ahead, just leave it for Des Valencia. He'll take it from here. And that is how you move the chains. 60 yards on that play, and that would lead to a Jay Cooter touchdown. And the Beavers get the 36-18 victory. Let's move to Class 5A. Everyone's chasing Wilsonville in District 2. We've got a pair of critical matchups, starting with a battle of the Vikings. Forest Grove visiting North Salem. I have yet to see a paper side that can hold up against running football players. Just doesn't work out well for the paper. And speaking of running, Josiah Davis gets his steps in. Later, same man, Davis, at it again, and he was responsible for all the scoring in the first half. North Salem gets the victory, 35-13 at home. Meantime, Canby and Scappoose facing off up along Highway 30. Sky 8 overhead during the first quarter. Time to check in with Tyler Canold like a video game. The sophomore hit the B button, the truck button. We even put this fast forward button to work. 56-yard house call. Canby gets the win on the road, 33-21. Let's head down to Hare Field in Hillsboro. The Hillsboro Spartans hosting McKay. Remember the name Kyron Fuimaono. 30 yards to Chansley. Folks, McKay hasn't won 3 games in a season since 2012. This is win number 3, and they're not done yet. 36-6 over Hillsboro. So let's go ahead and keep Sky 8 out there. At Hillsboro, McMinnville visiting Liberty. Kickers, they deserve love too. Kane McNabb, that was a 45-yard kick. Liberty wins a shootout, 52-34. We've got more scores for you. Grant outlasts Roosevelt in overtime. They're now in first place in the PIL. Clackamas shuts out Barlow, 28-0. And when you want something, you don't mess around. Nearly 57% of this week's votes went to Hawkinson and Mark Morris. This critical two-way matchup is your game of the week. The fans, they were ready at Longview Memorial Stadium. The Mark Morris cheerleaders fired up. I mean, it's homecoming at Mark Morris and their team ready for some football. So are the Hawkinson Hawks. What more could you ask for? They controlled this game. John Charles, get out of his way, because he's got plans for the end zone coming right at you. 6 points for the Hawks. A little later, they're doing it through the air. Jared Oldham, perfect pass to Tyler Little for the TD. Hawkinson on top 17-6. The Monarchs, though, they had plenty of fight in the second half. Mark Morris gets on the board again. Tough. But Hawkinson, just a little too much in this one. Hawkinson rolls 45-14. The most anticipated matchup of the week was on Thursday night up in Washington. 7th-ranked Union visiting 9th-ranked Skyview. We roll to Kiggins Bowl. The Storm locked in a game that could be the deciding factor for the Greater St. Helens League title. Second quarter, and that is Nico Ariola and Tanner Beeman hooking up for the 40-yard touchdown. Skyview on top 17 nada. The student section hyped. Shout out to the defense here. Teddy Beaver, right place, right time. Interception. The Storm forced 4 turnovers. That was huge. Skyview with a statement victory, 37-7. Let's head over to McKenzie Stadium. Evergreen hosting Kelso in an afternoon matinee. Both teams really need this one, trying to chase playoff spots. The Evergreen cheerleaders trying to fire up those Plainsmen. Kelso up to the challenge, though. Hunter Latier in the flat to Connor Noah, doing the rest, rumbling his way into the end zone. Kelso crushes Evergreen. Final count, 42-10. Mountain Valley Conference, West Salem and McNary, both 5-1 to start the season. The two teams facing off in week number 7. And we picked this thing up in the second half. West Salem up by 14 and looking for more. That is a rugby scrum that breaks out. Brooks Ferguson, there he is, somehow gets through there. West Salem up 20, Celtics fire back. Tyler Copeland to Braden Copeland, did he get in? Oh, the referee's all over it. Touchdown, but West Salem holds on for a 34-27 victory. They're now in first place in the Mountain Valley Conference. Look at them go. Sky 8 on hand for Seaside and Banks. Not a lot of scoring for the Choppers, so let's give some love to the special teams. That is Tanner Krauscher welcoming us to the block party. Here's your replay, and even the worst judges have to give that a perfect 10. But this one was all Banks on the scoreboard. 38-0, the final.